without any further ado, let's get tonight's show started. Right, thank you very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. There's a mystery there, cello's disappearing here and there. Welcome to the second half of the show. This is Chamber Orchestra. These are our top players. And yeah, again, it's been a true delight to... Oh, haha, blah, blah. These guys went to UAL, took sweepstakes. Yeah. In case you're curious, that's the first time Pershing has taken sweepstakes in orchestra. I'll explain what that means in a minute. Sweepstakes in orchestra since 2014. So, many of you already know what UAL is, concert and sight reading. And we will be brought in by our soloist, Jake Majilka. Thank you very much. Thank you. Remember Me from Coco, featuring two soloists, Genesee Moronis and Nick Santorino. Number for the evening. Before we get on to that, a few people I want to thank. First up, Dr. Shetzer, Principal of Pershing Middle School, for the untiring and unending support, both spiritually, emotionally, and most importantly, financially, that he gives to the fine arts programs here at Pershing. Special thank you to Miss Mirabella and all her crew in the lighting, and I'm sorry, but I couldn't take my eyes off that video, and it was very good. Nice choice, Emma. And also to Mr. Doswell and his crew of tech kids who are recording and filming tonight. Thank you very much to all. Great. Final song, Terra Nova. This is one of the pieces that we played at UAL. This is one of the songs that these kids took the trophy with. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Hey, hi, I'm here with.
Dr. Sarre.
Hi, Dr. Sarre. Nice to see you again as always.
Great to see you as always.
So another great performance you had.
Thank you.
Yesterday you had the guitar concert, and now you have the orchestra.
Yep.
It was phenomenal.
Thank
As
you.
always, great.
Yep.
As always. So give me a little. Talk with me a little about what is orchestra.
Okay, that's a really good question, isn't it? Because people, when they think orchestra, they think like violins, and they think trumpets, and they think flutes, and all sorts of things, don't they? Yeah, great question. So in the school system, orchestra means what we call strings, and that means violins, cellos, basses, things like that. It does not include like band instruments. That would be what we call full orchestra. So these kids are either playing a violin, which is the higher sounding instrument, or they might play the viola, which is kind of like the middle sounding instrument, the cello, which is like the next to the bottom, and then the double bass. That's a great big one that you see in jazz bands as well.
Yes.
So that's orchestra here.
So, like, say for instance, how many like strings?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Because I know there's different type of strings. And
all of these instruments have got 4 strings each, and unlike the guitars, which have 6 strings, and as you know, I'm a guitar player. So I'm
very good one.
Oh,
may
thank
I
you.
add.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you may add. You may add indeed. And so I always think like a guitarist, which sometimes is very helpful, and sometimes maybe not so helpful.
A
but
little
anyway,
tricky, you may say?
it's a little tricky, yeah, because our fingers, the violins, they're only like the necks are only this long, and so their fingers cover an awful lot of territory. If you like, it's sort of like if you had to go from here to here, and you only little distances from there to there, but if you're going from there to there, then you kind of got to do a whole lot of jumping, and that's how it is with things like cellos and basses and guitars. So you're constantly thinking, okay, right, that means you're going to have to jump all the way to get to there, and the violins, you only have to do that. All right,
So is it a similar process, shorter process?
Well, there is, yes. I think that there are 2 kinds of musicians, 3. I think that there is the percussionists, what I call the bang on a can people. There are string people, and there are wind people. I'm a string person. I understand strings. So even if it's not my instrument, if I gave it to me, I would understand it. I'd figure it out. If you gave me a flute, I could be there till 3 days after I die, and I would still never figure it out. But if you take a wind player, they'd have no problem. They'd kind of figure it out, because that's where their brain's at.
And so I understand that you won the UIL
Yes,
sweepstakes.
we did. We took a sweepstakes, which we were really, really excited to do, because it's been 8 years since Pershing Orchestra took sweepstakes at UIL. I know. Go figure.
8 years.
I know, 8 years. I know. So there's a trophy in our cabinet now that says 2022, and the last sweepstakes was 2014.
Wow.
So
That's a big gap.
I know.
But y'all won it.
Yeah, we did. Well, the kids worked so hard, and they just went out there, and they were so well prepared that they just got in there and they put on a show. We forgot that we were on competition. At least I forgot we were on competition. We were just putting on a show
For the audience.
Yeah, and that was it. That was their mindset, and they put on a great show. And I walked away and I said, kids, I don't care what grade we got. I don't care if we took a trophy or not. That was a really cool show.
Yeah.
And well, then I went to get the results, because it's a judge thing. There's a judge. There are 3 judges, and they sit there and they go, okay, I rank you this, 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 and this. To get sweepstakes, all 3 judges have to have a majority of a 1 vote.
Okay.
So like 1 being the highest, 5 being the lowest. Okay?
So is it like, say for like since swimming and you jump off, like they have like 10.
And that's
10,
a really good
20.
comparison. Yeah. So imagine if you had like 3 judges and you're diving.
Like America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Right. And then they judge you on different things within that. So they might judge you on performance, like showmanship, on the strength of your voice, the range, yada, yada, yada. And then they'll say, okay, I'll give you a 1 for this, I'll give you a 2 for that, I'll give you a 1 for that. And then if they look at it and they say, overall, you got a 1, that's a sweepstake. And we got all 1s, except for 1 judge gave us a 2 for something, but the majority of the grades were 1. So anyway, I went to get the grades, and I looked at it and I said, you're telling me we took sweepstakes? They said, yeah. And then they gave me the trophy. And I thought,
wow.
That's what I thought. I thought, wow. I thought, whoa. So I put it in my backpack, and I'm thinking, okay,
How are you gonna tell the kids?
I said, how am I gonna milk this? I'm gonna have fun with this one.
Yeah.
So we walked out, and everybody was out. I said, "Come on, let's go." And if you do the wrong thing, it's like in diving, right? If you like do an illegal,
up.
if you do an illegal dive, they can disqualify you, and it doesn't matter what you get, you're disqualified, right? And it's the same with this. If you do something wrong, they can simply disqualify you. And we walked out, and we had practices here at school. And we would have teachers come in and listen, like a choir teacher and the band teacher, and they say, "Well, you were disqualified 5 times for doing this, that, and that." Oh gosh! And so I came out and I had this real sour look, and the kid said, "Were we disqualified? Who got us disqualified? How is it?" I said, "Let's just go outside and we'll talk out there." And so I walked outside and I said, "All right, come on, gather around, sit down." And I said, "All right, well." And then I said, "I can't do this." So I pulled the trophy out and I said, we took sweepstakes.
That's hilarious.
I know, they all jumped up. It was a great moment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And again, it must take a lot of dedication, especially for the whole entire class. And give me a rundown and a brief, as you can, through the process, what it was like facing the other teams.
Well, you don't face them. This is like you go in there by yourself.
Okay.
But in a sense, it's kind of like, I'm trying to think what it would be like. It's kind of like an audition.
Okay.
Right? It's kind of like an audition. And you go in, and at first it's kind of nervous because you're thinking, what am I doing? Okay, am I doing the wrong thing? And they usually try to put you put you comfortable and make you easy, that kind of thing.
It looked like it was comfortable and easy.
It was comfortable and it was easy. We just waltzed right through. And the kids, but we have a very rigorous schedule. And I told you about this yesterday, that if you don't have high expectations, you won't get high standards. If you have low expectations, in fact, the lower the expectations, the lower the performer will go. And it doesn't matter if it's music, it's the same in team sports. If you have a coach who just has very low expectations, the team will actually play lower than the low expect. But if you have very high expectations, they will try to get better than it. And if you play the game right, they never will reach your expectations, because it's a moving goalpost. You're constantly, like, just when you think, oh, they're getting there, then you say, all right, let's make it harder.
No.
And then, okay, let's make it harder. And that's what you do.
Well, it looked like it worked well.
It does.
For you.
It does. I believe very strongly in that. Kids cannot be underestimated.
And it looked like it went well for this interview.
Thank you. It's been a great one.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I did have low expectations. But
I'm an easy person to interview, aren't I?
We've been talking. Yeah. Yeah. You are. You're a great host.
Yeah, thank you. You're great at running this show as well.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And you have you done? The more concerts. What? You guys do so much work.
Yeah, talent show.
A talent show. Wow.
And the dance and. Oh.
Yeah.
Who? Oh, Miss Shoop.
Miss Shoop's got a concert. She's got life skills kids, hasn't she? Yeah, wicked. All right. Good.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. No.
Well, again,
great.
thank you, Dr.
All right,
Sarre,
man. Thank you very much. You have a great night, guys.